Hi everyone, Troy Martin, TM Fitness. So just a little while ago I released a video that showed you some really simple and effective dynamic warm-up exercises you can do prior to running and running sports. So now I'm going to show you some really simple exercises you can do to warm up prior to cycling. It's important to ensure that a few areas of the body are going to be able to function optimally while you're cycling in order to get the most out of the cycling, to get the most power into your pedal stroke, etc. So if you got in from work and you've been fairly sedentary at work, as most people are, so you might have been sitting at a desk for long periods of time, you might be sitting on the train for a long period of time, you might have been driving in the car for a long period of time, your body's not going to be ready to get on a bike and go. You've got to kind of open up a few things and get that circulation going again. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So the problem with sitting is that the hip flexors are going to be short and tight, your abs are going to be short and tight, and then all the muscles up the back are going to be long and weak. That's why often when you get up out of the chair after a long period of sitting, you get that pain in the lower back because these muscles are tight and short and they're trying to pull everything in, and it's just antagonizing here because it's not strong enough to pull you up into extension. So we need to open up the hips, but also your chest is probably concave, the shoulders are rounded, the upper back is flexed. You're sitting at the desk like this all day long. So we need to open up the rib cage, open up and mobilise the thoracic spine, get some functional breathing in as well. So if you're breathing functionally, you're going to be able to more easily get rid of the waste products that are built up in your bloodstream, and you're going to oxygenate your blood, which is going to put more energy into your muscles. So the first thing we need to do is just start loosening up, opening up those shoulders. So just rolling the shoulders around, just breathing normally at this point. And after you've done that a little bit and you can feel the shoulders just starting to warm up and mobilise, we want to start mobilising the mid-spine. So just do some rotations. Make sure you've got a stable base with the feet, that you're not over-rotating through the lower spine too much, and then just increase it, build it up. We're trying to get some rotation around the rib cage area, just to loosen up the ribs and the mid-spine. And then we need to open up the chest a little bit more, get some extension, thoracic extension through that mid-spine, open up the chest and shoulders and really start getting that breathing going correctly, getting the breathing down through the diaphragm, breathing into your abdomen rather than into the top of your chest. So you start off in the flex position with the shoulders rounded, and then as you inhale, you lift the chest and open up the shoulders, like that. You may even feel a little bit of a release through the mid-spine as you start to mobilise it and loosen it up a bit. So once you've done that for a couple of minutes, we need to start working on the hips. And this is a really good functional movement. It's going to not just open up the hips, it's going to help to lengthen out the quads a little bit and open up and get some length into the abdominals as well. So it's like a lunge. Unlike with a normal lunge, where you would be bringing that back knee down and all the effort is through these areas because it's flexion extension through the hip and the knee joint, you're going to be stepping back. You want to try and tuck the tailbone under, so we're keeping a little bit of length through the lumbar spine, and then you get a stretch through the hips. So you step back, tuck the tailbone, and at this point you're just kind of bringing the hips forward rather than bringing the back knee down. So there's a slight difference of emphasis on that movement. You'll get a stretch in the hip flexor, through the quads, and primarily through the rectus femoris, which is one of those quadriceps. So you might feel it down at the attachment point in the knee, perhaps. Okay, and you just alternate that, making sure you're keeping that tuck through the pelvis so that you're not hyperextending the lower back. You don't want to be feeling any compression through here. And then we can bring the arms in. So you start to sweep the arms up. We're getting some length through the lats here. Again, lifting the chest, extending the mid-spine, and importantly, lengthening out the abdominals here. Deep breath in, exhale. And I'll show you front on. So just step back. And again, just do that for about a minute. So loosen up the shoulders, rotate the spine, start mobilising the mid-spine, and then doing your overhead lunge. Couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes at most. After you've done that, you're going to feel great. Your circulation's going, the heart rate's got up a little bit. You've opened up, freed up all those areas, and then you're ready to get on the bike and smash out some watts. Okay, laters.